Ahead of the Vendée Globe start in November, is the New York Vondee to LaesSables Olonne qualifying race, which sets sail on May 29th. This race is the last meeting for the skippers before the Vendée Globe. The 3,100-mile, 5,741-kilometer course takes the sailors on a single-handed transatlantic qualifying race from New York's Manhattan.
New York, dazzling and vertiginous. City of extremes, cradle of the American dream. In the city that never sleeps, in the shadow of Manhattan's skyscrapers, this is where the final qualifying race for the Vendée Globe will start. New York is the last springboard to leap towards any round-the-world aspirations. The skippers will set off in a solo race towards Vendée in France. On the Atlantic Ocean, these modern-day adventurers will be the link between the American dream and the Vendéan miracle. At the finish line, the iconic channel of LaesSables Olonne will be the reward for their epic feat. We will finally know the 40 participants of the 2024 Vendée Globe.
Quelques secondes encore, le passage de la ligne. Ça y est, il l'a fait, vraiment.
Last chance to make the dream come true of being at the start of the Vendée Globe.
This is your weekly global sailing highlights show, The World on Water, for March 8, 2024. Thomas Coville, the French solo skipper of Sodebo Ultim 3, crossed the line off Brest to finish the ARKÉA ULTIM CHALLENGE-Brest last Thursday afternoon to take second place. At 55 years of age, the sailor most widely known as the recordman completed the 9th round-the-world passage of his career in an elapsed time of 53 days, 1 hour, 12 minutes, 40 seconds.
On se rend pas compte, mais c'est super loin Brest. Jusqu'à quelques minutes avant de voir les pierres noires, c'est les phares qui ouvrent Ouessant là. Tu te rends pas compte que tu vas arriver. Tu te rends pas compte que tu vas revoir des visages. Tu te rends pas compte. Tu es dans une telle atmosphère, tu es dans une telle concentration, tu es dans une telle intensité. C'est une émotion très rare en fait. On a du mal à créer ça autrement que dans des moments aussi intenses. C'est un moment... c'est pas facile de trouver des mots vrais. Cette histoire-là, vous la raconterez encore longtemps. Cette histoire-là, elle nous appartient. Cette histoire-là, on s'en souviendra toute notre vie. Parce que c'est là qu'on est allé la chercher.
The Canary Islands are renowned for their breezy northeasterly trade wind conditions, and today Lanzarote fully delivered this, with 20 to 25 knot winds and occasional gusts of 30. In this wind, plus the lumpy sea state, playing it safe and carrying out well-executed maneuvers, was order of the day for the 9 teams. After 3 races, it was Team Nika first, Team Cref second, and Peninsula Racing third.
It's 2024, it's the 44 Cup in Lanzarote, Porto Calero Marina. 9 teams are contesting this, the first event of the season. Race 1 sees Charisma leading off the pin end of the start line, with a big lead at the top mark. They round the wheel a mark in first and are never headed, extending all the way to the finish. Meanwhile, the other teams are really having a tight battle as they come into the top mark, and it's tight all the way through to the end of the race. Race 2, again a lot closer. It's a battle as they come into the leeward mark for the first time. CREF coming down with a huge gust to approach in from behind on Peninsula and Nika. Unfortunately, Peninsula put the spinnaker in the water just as they're approaching into the leeward gate. That gives Nika a wonderful opportunity to make a gain, but here comes CREF on a huge big gust in from behind. All the boats really pushing hard. They approach the leeward mark at exactly the same time, and this sets up an epic battle up the last beat. Eventually, Nika get the best of that from CREF and then Peninsula. Race 3, and it's even windier. Their mainsails are flapping off the start line, but at the top mark, the right-hand side has had a gain. Charisma from Aqua, from the Spanish team from Puerto Calero, doing a great job on this first upwind. Then CREF coming in 4th. Charisma wipe out a huge gust as they come 3/4 way down the leg. That opens the door for Aqua to speed past, and unfortunately for Charisma, this puts pay to their race and they finish in 9th. CREF makes some gains as a result of this and come into 2nd, battling with Aqua at the 2nd beat, and CREF gain the upper hand at the top mark. Coming down into finish here, they win, followed by Aqua, who jibe into 2nd, with a fast approaching Nika coming in on a gust to come 3rd and to win the day overall.
Two race wins for Simon Diesch and Anna Markfort have moved the Germans into 2nd place and just 4 points off the Japanese leaders after a breezier day at the 470 World Championship in Mallorca.
The breeze was up for day 2 of Gold Fleet racing, so the question was, would the Japanese be able to hold on to their lead?
We felt good today. It's not our preferable wins. It was stable. That's a little bit what we are hoping for. It was a quite physical day for the legs.
Going into the day, we knew we still had 4 more races to go in this Worlds before the cut for the medal race, so we knew a lot of points on the table still. We wanted to take each race by race, and I think we did that fairly well. We knew conditions were changing throughout the day, and I think especially in the 470 where you don't have to wear the brown undies like in Sail GP when it's blowing above 15 knots. I think all the 470 sailors love it. So do we, obviously. It just makes the boat go faster. A lot of really good communication between Simon and me, and I think that really played out.
So in the end, Germany 11 gets 2 bullets and closes the gap on the lead, but still holding the top of the leaderboard is Japan.
For some time, the Lanzarote forecast for day 2 of the 44 Cup Calero Marinas showed conditions exceeding the RC44 class theoretical upper wind limit of 25 knots. Anticipating this, P.R.O. Maria Torrijo brought the start time forward to 9:30. As the race got underway, the wind off Puerto Calero was already into the high teens, with the odd gust into the early 20s. Daniel Calero's newbies on Calero sailing team won the pin from Chris Bakes, Team Aqua, while Vladimir Prosikin's Team Nika started well at the weather end of the line. After 6 races having been run, the top 3 boats have not changed.
Day 2 of the 44 Cup in Puerto Calero. It's an early start this morning because there's a really strong wind forecast coming through for the middle of the day. Yesterday we saw boats topping out at 21 knots downwind. It's going to be a frenetic day on the water. So this is just off the start line in race 4. The wind has really increased very rapidly. 20, 22 knots, gusts of 28 coming down the track, and as this happens, the fleet's all settling down into their starboard tack. The Spanish again having a really good first upwind, but not quite managing to get the boat down. Loads of rooster tail out of the back of the boat as they're trying to get the boat under control as this gust hits and they bear away. Nika have extended into the right-hand side with others following. They jibe on the edge of a gust and just cross Charisma, who are coming down at pace. But as you can see, being up in pressure and on the step, as we say, is really important. The amount of gauge that Nick has gained here relative to Charisma jibe is absolutely colossal. Peninsula coming in super deep, almost Chinese jibing with the mainsail, and Sea-Ref in the same position. Aleph having to give water to both boats, but Peninsula got a problem with the spinnaker, and as Sea-Ref come round expecting them to round easily, there's a very, very close scenario with those two boats. Peninsula park up, allowing Sea-Ref come round the outside, and Aleph having to give room to Sea-Ref. There's a big gust though, and as they come to bear away, the rudder's not quite working, and the boat's really struggling to get to bear away. Crew up on the high side, the runner's not quite out, but they just managed to get the boat down an angle. And this helps set them up for a nice fast exit from the wheel mark as they speed off downwind towards the finish of the race. As we come into the finish, it's Nika with a clear lead, sailing a great race and maintaining their lead on the overall standings as a result of 2 days of racing. So all in all, a good day's racing, really breezy conditions, right on the limit for the 44 Cup, but epic to be able to have a race in such on the limit conditions. Now let's hear a few words from Daniel Calero, the helm of the Calero sailing team.
In this class it's so competitive, so you need to be very stable during the whole race to be at the top. So it's what we are looking for tomorrow. So let's see.
Armel Leclerc, winner of the 2016-17 Vendée Globe, maintained his record of finishing on the podium on all 3 of his solo round-the-world races so far, when he crossed the finish line to complete the ARKÉA ULTIM CHALLENGE-Brest solo, multi-hull, race round-the-world race, at 20:31 hours last Sunday evening, to take 3rd place sailing the Ultim, Banque Populaire 11. Leclerc's elapsed time for the course is 56 days, 8 hours, 1 minute, 31 seconds. He finished 5 days, 12 hours, 53 minutes, 49 seconds after winner Charles Caudrelier.
On va accueillir Armel, notre skipper, notre bateau, après ce long tour du monde.
Le Populaire 11 a entamé et donc en route actuellement vers la ligne à 24 nœuds. 24.
C'est une aventure incroyable, réussie, parce qu'on est le 3e ultime à finir un tour du monde aujourd'hui à la voile. Et ça, on ne pourra pas nous l'enlever. On a réussi ce défi-là, on l'a relevé avec toute l'équipe. Et on a appris énormément aussi sur le bateau. Il y a beaucoup de bobos. Hein. Le bateau, il est fatigué comme moi, mais on va le faire progresser, on va le faire encore plus solide et on va affronter d'autres défis rapidement.
Catch up on all the action from Day 3 of the 44 Cup Calero Marinas, That delivered another day of prolonged gusts of plus 26 knots, and lulls as little as 15. The breeze, passing over Lanzarote's mountainous barren landscape, created huge turbulence, churning up and short, sharp chop, to challenge the 9 teams.
Welcome back to the 44 Cup Calero Marinas. It's day 3 of racing and day 3 of 30-knot winds here in Lanzarote. Let's get into the action. The start of race 5, and again it's really windy. The teams come off the line and they're fighting to keep in control of the boat. Massive gusts on the water, and as you can see there, Black Star really hitting a wave just as they come off the line. But I think Black Star are over, so they're gonna have to go back. Artemis really close here on the mark now, just squeaking around, and the kite's already trying to go up, trying to spin the boat down fast as they come around the mark there, with Black Star outside, and Aleph having to double tack at the mark. Oh, that's gonna be painful, but you know, hopefully they're gonna be able to get better on the rounding and get the boat going afterwards. Nick has jibed on top of Peninsula. Within the distance, Sea-Ref jibing down on the far side of the course into another patch of breeze. But I think these guys here have got a really big gust and are gonna storm down the middle of the track. Into the bottom, there's been a little problem on Sea-Ref, and Nick has managed to gain back towards them. It's a tough rounding for Sea-Ref, and as that happens, Nika really tightly approach into the other boy, coming out on port tack. Turning the boat down, easing the sails, trying to keep the boat flat as they really turn the boat and try and accelerate away from the mark. But it's so gusty and so windy, it's difficult for the boats to turn down. As they come down into the finish here, it's Peninsula who win the race, clearly, with a bit of a big margin here. Race 6, and everyone's even tighter packed for this one. Boats coming to the line really early. Are people going to be over? Or still super close, people are trying to slow down, but the Spanish end up being over early, as is Aqua, and also Sea-Ref is called early. That's going to be a massive impact for their race. Trying to then slow the boat down to let the other boats go past, and then bear away and turn down. And at the same time, Black Star seem to have got a penalty too. Oh, it's all drama on this one, and it's going to be anybody's game trying to catch up from this impact at the start. Still, the Spanish are trying to work out how to bear away, and so tough. A very good beat from Aleph with their new mainsail and new jib trimmer. They're doing a superb job. The other boats coming in, trying to jostle for position, trying to get their route into the windward mark, but there's a light patch here, and the light patch means it's going to be difficult for boats to accelerate out of tacks and out of windward mark roundings and out of jibes. Sea-Ref have gained as well, and Aleph and Charisma coming in for this starboard rounding mark have got a real close battle coming on here. Sea-Ref spinning it down nice and early, jibe for the port hand rounding mark, nice and smooth. Meanwhile, Charisma and Aleph, it's so close. Is there going to be a touch? Ooh, it's a really tight rounding here, just managing to keep clear of each other. Oh my lord, how close was that? As they're coming back upwind, Charisma managed to just get a rounding in, but Aleph are now bow down and fast. It's going to be tough to see who comes out of this well up the next beat. Nika jibe into the last approach into the finish. It's still super gusty, but they're doing a nice job of just keeping it super safe and super solid into the finish line. That means they're still leading overall, but it's getting tight because Sea-Ref are in second in this race and have gained a 1 place on them overall in the day. So now over to Nick Asher, tactician for Team Nika.
Okay, yeah, no, really good race for us on that second one today. Had a little issue in the first race last run with the hoist, but the crew recovered well and really had a good race in that one. We stretched our legs nicely. It's very difficult conditions, really chippy, really puffy. Yeah, so we're pretty happy with today. Survived it and one more day to go.
So today was really gusty, the wind falling down off the mountains, and that made it really difficult conditions. As you can see, some pretty tough boat handling. The guys did a super cool job, but it was a very difficult day on the water.
The outcome of the winnings 24 JJ Giltinan Championship is still wide open between the three leading teams, with just 3 more races to be sailed, as the 27-boat fleet focuses on winning the coveted JJ Giltinan World 18-footer trophy, currently being contested on Sydney Harbour. With 6 races of the 9-race regatta now completed, each team's worst race result to date is excluded from the net score and reflects a true position as the event moves closer to completion next Sunday.
Stand by.
20 seconds.
Well, I think we're going to be clean. Where's that pin? Oh, it's starting to rumble. Here they go. Ooh, Lazarus close. 6 seconds, 5. Ooh, what's happening? Smeg's well advanced at the committee boat. We're away. We are away. After yesterday, everyone will be a bit jittery, especially the committee. We've got a boat going back. Andrew went back, and I don't think he was over. The word we're getting, they were not over. They went back. There's someone else gone back. Has Lazarus gone back as well? But anyway, we're away on starboard. Yandu will lead. Andu second, then close between Rag and Finport.
Yeah. So let's see what Rag does here. I think they need to tack.
Yep. Yep, they're in. Slotting inside.
What a tack.
Yeah, good. Well, they're top shelf, all these crews. There's Yandu around. Going right through the middle is Wild Oaks 11. We'll see him in a moment. 10, there he is.
Don't spook people.
Yeah, well done.
Need a new Lord runner operator, Pete.
It's all right. Sandy Oakley at the helm. They threaded the needle nicely there, Sandy, but they were off. On starboard jibe, all the Bradleys. No one's jibed out. It's a long starboard, short port. Herman winning, Savvy Jarvin and Sam Newton have won a heap of JJs between them. As Yandu jibing now. No, he's
pretty conservative drop.
Yeah, he's dropped. No, he didn't jibe, he just dropped, and then is going to go
to this mark.
Up here to the right-hand mark.
Yep, you can dial her up now.
That's nice, accurate sailing there from Mika Lane, Louis Brake and Fang Warren. What's Andu going to do?
He's going to go to the other side.
Mark.
Yeah.
Okay, going to split. Now this is a real test of boat speed here. Mika Lane can just put the foot down a little. Herman Winnigan's just got to probably hold his height a fraction, but he's doing a pretty fine job of it. About halfway up the beat. Jib off. Yesterday the Vang broke. They've gone back to a more conventional Vang system. And it's certainly doing the job for them. Yandu done a little tack that wasn't as great, but they're around. Probably about 10 seconds adrift. So game on. Both top crews have got a bit of a wine glass in the Yandu chute. Okay, there's Bradley's. So you can see that Yandu has got a nice lead.
And the Rags easily got away from the Finport.
Yandu going to split. Going to the right-hand mark.
Yeah, the approach of Andu is better in race
Rag have overcooked this coming in.
Yeah,
we'll see them in a moment.
They had to jibe to go around the back of the big keel boat.
So they've dropped early and they've got to come up to this starboard mark. And Finport, comes Finport, bit of yelling. No way, says Harry Price, you're getting in there. Oh, Keegan.
Exactly.
Oh, Grandad Keegan.
Exactly
right.
Okay,
the Rags around.
So that's a cracking jibe and dial up.
Yeah.
On board. Thanks, Dylan.
Yeah. Probably 15 seconds the differential, if that.
Probably, no.
If that.
Easily that, Pete.
16 then, okay, 16.
Yeah, no more, 20.
Okay. Spinnaker's up on Yandu and set. No problems at all there. Here goes Andu. Yep. Gear off into their work. Got a bit to do to catch here. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, here's Yandu jibing for approach to the finish. They will win Heat 5. Mika Lane, Fang Warren and Louis Brake. Another outstanding performance. Pounced when they could, when Andrew got that wine glass in their spinnaker, and they're going to win by, 25, 30 seconds. Here we go, 10 seconds. Oh, a bit of yelling. Oh, where's Andrew going? Has he got a gap? Yeah, Andrew's okay. Just. Lazarus was close.
And some kind of recall here.
Yeah, the New Zealanders, top New Zealand boats in all sorts of trouble. I think they got in eyes. They're trying to get onto. They're on port tack behind the fleet. Okay, there's Yandu and Rag again, prominent. Good starts.
The Yandu is in all sorts.
Just went that. Oh, they're in this tide. No. Okay, they're over. They just ran into the lee of Bradley's, got a spiky puff, then nothing, and over they went. If it's any capsize, a good capsize, this is probably it. Yeah. This will test them though. Yeah. Oh, see, like Kobe had to bail out. They're all seeing what happened. Okay, Andrew leads.
So the Rag just got to do a little port tack. Be wise to get it done. Andrew leads pretty easily.
Nice fin port, tight lay. It will lay, I think, from there.
Yeah.
Just holding the big foot up. And then Marine Outlet fourth. Lazarus coming in on port, trying to find a hole, which he probably will. Okay, fin port round. Then the big foot. Andrew leads. But they've got a few good guys breathing down his neck. What a sight this is. Iconic 18-footers, Sydney Harbour. Northeasterly breeze. 6 feet at the titles. And Andrew leads. They look as though they're going to the left-hand mark. Lazarus have been prominent every day, haven't they? Early on. Finished 8th in the first race today. As Andrew is around and on their way to the final beat. Hope they've seen a 2-lapper course. Bigfoot coming next. Around they go. In they go. Oh, Herman's still on the wire. Sammy Newton and Sevi. Well, Sam working overtime. I don't know whether Sevi works overtime, but there's the wine glass coming out.
Beautiful set.
Lovely set, and the Bigfoot's laying. Clearly second. Yandu throwing everything now at Finport to get into third. Okay, no confusion here. The last jibe. Final jibing in. Herman winning, John Winning Jr., Sevi Jarvin and Sam Newton. Fantastic effort. Good stuff. Finish off today with a second and a first. Yep. They'll be pretty happy with that performance.
A bit of redemption after yesterday's breakdown.
Okay, Andrew wins. Provisionally and unaudited, I've got Andrew and Yandu both on 8 points. That's with the drop.
Yep.
And then 5 points back to Rag and Famish.
On 13, yep.
On 13, so they are all way ahead of the 4th place getter, who probably would be Finport, I think. Back on 27, so he's carrying an 11th. And the Rag would be carrying dropping a 7th. Thanks for joining us on behalf of Jimmy Bury and Andrew Buckland. Peter Shipway saying farewell from Sydney Harbour, and we look forward to your company tomorrow afternoon.